The parliamentary committee formed to probe into the charges against former finance minister Janardhan Sharma for allegedly involving two unauthorized individuals in tweaking tax rates has received the documents and CCTV footages but is yet to find the recordings of the time when the tax rates were revised. Good morning, I am Prarambha. Let's begin with the main stories. The holy month of Shravan begins. Hindu devotees wear green attires and wearables to express their respect to Lord Shiva and nature. Additional 35 jailbirds test positive to coronavirus in Morang. Arrangements made for PCR tests on new detainees before putting them behind bars. Wildfires in southwestern France and Spain force evacuations of thousands from their homes. Blistering summer temperatures put authorities on alert in parts of Europe. And poor batting display continues to haunt Nepal as they suffer another humiliating defeat, lose to Namibia by 63 runs in the ICC World Cricket League 2 series. The Nepali month of Shravan has begun today. The Nepali month of Shravan holds great significance among Hindu followers in and outside of Nepal. While many Hindus fast during the month, they also express their respect to Lord Shiva and the nature by wearing green attires, chura or bangles and other wearables while also applying henna. Many worshippers fast every Monday of Shravan, which is considered a holy month. Hindu women wear green, yellow and red attires and wearables and put on mehendi or henna with the belief that it brings in peace and prosperity to their family and life. Green is considered representative of nature, environment and love. Many women consider green attire as paying respect to the nature as well. According to senior citizens, despite having no scientific evidences, green attires and henna are considered good for health as well. The younger generation is also increasingly getting attracted to wearing green attires, bangles and applying henna during the month of Shravan. Additional 35 jailbirds in Morang have tested positive to coronavirus. The jail administration informed that the PCR tests were carried out on 39 inmates who were symptomatic, while the result of 35 prisoners came out positive. With this, the number of coronavirus-infected inmates in the correctional facility has reached 54. Preparations are underway to isolate the additional 35 inmates who tested positive for coronavirus and transfer those with health issues to Koshi COVID Hospital. Following the death of Nir Bahadur Nepal, a convicted murderer, while undergoing treatment at the Koshi Hospital, the prison administration conducted antigen tests on 22 symptomatic inmates, out of which 19 returned positive. The infected inmates have been admitted to Koshi COVID Hospital. Likewise, 3 jailbirds of the area police office in Rani Transit have also tested positive for coronavirus. Arrangements have been made to conduct PCR tests on new detainees before allowing them inside the prison since Friday. The prison administration further informed that vaccines against coronavirus were administered to 620 jail inmates between Friday and Saturday. It is no surprise to see Nepali leaders change their stand when they are in the opposition or in the government. Leaders who seem to raise the issues concerning the public when in the opposition has minimum apathy for public issues when they shoot into power. Nepali Congress had vehemently protested against what they call the autocratic style of the erstwhile Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. However, the incumbent Prime Minister Shravan is now alleged of taking a leaf out of Oli's book. There is a provision for 3 members taking a decision regarding the bill on the Constitutional Council registered at the National Assembly. When the provision was first introduced by the KP Sharma Oli-led government, Nepali Congress had protested against the decision. Likewise, Nepali Congress at the time had also objected to the Internal Revenue Department and Anti-Money Laundering Department being kept under the Prime Minister's office. However, the Dewa government, since assuming power, has not taken any initiative to remove these sensitive bodies from the Prime Minister's office. Prima Dewa is even alleged of undermining constitutional provision while flexing his executive roles. Nepali Congress, while in the opposition role, had criticized the former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli of trying to govern the country through ordinances, while Premier Dewa currently seems walking on the Oli path. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dewa's activities are criticized within Nepali Congress itself. A section of Nepali Congress is completely against the bill on Constitutional Council. Prema Dewa is also criticized by the party ranks and files for not giving full shape to the Central Committee, while sister organizations are without leadership. Powerful nations' interest in Nepal has been on the rise in recent time. Various statements and remarks made regarding Nepal by neighboring and friendly nations reveal that the country's sensitivity in diplomacy has been weak. The Chinese embassy in Nepal, issuing a statement yesterday, objected to the remarks made by U.S. Ambassador nominee for Nepal, Dean Thompson, regarding the U.S. cooperation project Millennium Challenge Corporation MCC Compact. In the statement, it was mentioned that U.S. Ambassador nominee's remark, which said that the MCC Compact was ratified despite a disinformation campaign by China, was regrettable. Incidents of this nature have exhibited that powerful countries are taking increasing interest in Nepal. However, the government and political parties seem insensitive to that scenario. A few days ago, head of the International Liaison Department of the Communist Party of China, Liu Jianchao, during his visit to Nepal, met with the President, Prime Minister and other top-notch leaders. During the visit, he not only expressed China's security concerns, but also urged communist leaders in Nepal to opt for a merger. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi had also visited Nepal right after the MCC Compact was endorsed by the parliament and held discussions on BRI projects and signed a few agreements during the visit. The American side was also seen active before the endorsement of the MCC Compact. At a time when powerful nations are increasing their involvement in Nepal, the major political parties are divided on issues of diplomacy and foreign affairs. Issues that need to be resolved in high diplomatic level with southern neighbor India, including retrieval of land, border dispute, implementation of agreements, are piling up. The government and political parties have not been on the same pace regarding these issues. Nepal faces additional challenge to adopt a balanced policy so that other countries do not interfere in the internal affairs. At a time when political parties are busy in their political gambits, the risk of foreign interference has increased all the while. In our Public Voice segment, we have asked people what should be done to protect oneself from coronavirus infection. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
कोरोना भाइरसबाट जोगिनको लागि हामीले पूरा मात्रामा खोप लगाउनु पर्यो,
साबुन पानीले हात धुनु पर्यो, नियमित रूपमा
सामाजिक दूरी चाहिँ कायम गर्नु पर्यो,
नाकाहरुमा अलिकति स्वास्थ्यको चाहिँ मापदण्डलाई पनि अलिकति चाहिँ कडाइको रूपमा लागू गर्नु पर्यो,
मानिसहरु बीच सामाजिक दूरी कायम हुनुपर्छ जसले गर्दा चाहिँ कोभिड को नियन्त्रण हुन्छ।
It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, what is your take on powerful leaders in executive role undermining the constitutional provisions? Your options are A, arrogant, B, ignoring public aspirations, and C, power speaks. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C, and then send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It is now time for the sports news.
Sports News.
Yet another poor batting display saw Nepal thrashed by 63 runs by Namibia in the ICC World Cricket League 2 series. In the match played at Cambusdoon, Namibia won the toss and elected to bat, where they were bowled out for 199 runs in 49.2 overs. Gerard Erasmus top scored for Namibia with 53 runs, while David Wiesa added 34 runs and Divan Lacock scored 27. Skipper Sandeep Lamechhane was the pick of the Nepali bowlers with 4 wickets, while giving away 29 runs in his 10 overs, while Deependra Singh Aidi and Sompal Khami grabbed 2 wickets each. Chasing the target of 200 runs, Nepal were restricted to a paltry 136 runs in just 37.5 overs. Airi top scored for Nepal with 38 runs, while Asif Sheikh scored 34 and Muhammad Adil Ansari added 20. Bernard Stolz picked 5 wickets, while Jan Freitling had 3 to his name. Following the defeat, Nepal have dropped to the 6th spot in the points table. Nepal have 17 points from 19 matches. Team Nepal had lost their first match of the series against Namibia by 40 runs as well. They conclude their Scotland tour with the last match against the hosts today. And now, before we wrap up, here's a look into the top stories one more time. The holy month of Shravan begins. Hindu devotees wear green attires and wearables to express their respect to Lord Shiva and nature. Additional 35 jailbirds test positive to coronavirus in Morong. Arrangements made for PCR tests on new detainees before putting them behind bars. Wildfires in southwestern France and Spain force evacuations of thousands from their homes. Blistering summer temperatures put authorities on alert in parts of Europe. And poor batting display continues to haunt Nepal as they suffer another humiliating defeat, lose to Namibia by 63 runs in the ICC World Cricket League 2 series. That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 a.m. Thank you for staying with us. Have a beautiful day ahead.